More than 10 people have been identified.
A rival school warns Cal Poly students to stay away for Halloween weekend.
And we'll tell you more about the women's soccer game happening today and why it's so important to get a win.
You're watching Mustang News.
I'm Christina Favuzzi.
And I'm Ashley Whittingham. You're watching our weekly half-hour broadcast of Mustang News. Happy Halloween, Cal Poly. 13 people have been identified in the VG Cafe Burglary that happened on October 6th. University police got an anonymous tip at about 1:30 in the morning on the 6th. The caller said people were stealing food from VG's.
Police have determined that the burglars entered through an unlocked door. Estimated cost of stolen food and damages to the dining hall is $1,400. We spoke with University Police Chief George Hughes over the phone this morning.
In cooperation with reviewing the video surveillance, showing pictures to people in the housing department, that we were able to identify several of the individuals. At that point, we conducted interviews, and then people who had admitted to the crimes are the ones that we are forwarding over to the DA's office for filing of appropriate charges.
No arrests have been made at this point. That's up to the DA's office. Chief Hughes tells us that UPD has an additional 9 individuals they're looking into. Stay with Mustang News for the latest in this investigation. Students thinking about going to Santa Barbara for this Halloween weekend may want to reconsider. UCSB Associate Dean for Student Life Debbie Fleming bought an ad in the Mustang News print edition warning outsiders to stay away. The ad said 90% of arrests made during past Halloween weekends were of people visiting. However, despite the strict regulations and high risk of being arrested, some students are still planning on taking that chance.
The fact that they don't want me to go makes me want to go that much more. Just because they're like, hey, don't go, that's just making me want to go more. But even knowing that that ad has been taken out is not going to deter me from going to Santa Barbara.
Last year, there were almost 200 jail bookings. Fleming says if you decide to come, make sure you know the laws ahead of time.
Many Cal Poly students will be celebrating in SLO this weekend. We investigated common myths about alcohol and how to stay safe.
Beer before liquor, never been sicker.
Alcohol myths like this have spread throughout Cal Poly's campus. Some are true, but most are false. Cal Poly Health Center employees say that the consequences of believing these false myths can be dangerous.
Myths such as that have no scientific basis at all. There is one way to drink, and it's responsible drinking, and it's that your liver can process a drink an hour.
Other popular myths are ways to sober up if you've had one too many drinks.
Eating bread, drinking water, drinking horchata, cold showers, and coffee.
While students might try these remedies,
the only thing that will sober you up is time.
The San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office says they plan to crack down on alcohol-related incidents this Halloween weekend.
Awareness by law enforcement is heightened around and surrounding Halloween weekend, and so we just ask that all Cal Poly students stay safe and have a great time. Enjoy college, but respect the community as well.
Some common signs of alcohol poisoning are hypothermia, unconsciousness, and blue or pale skin. If you believe someone might have alcohol poisoning, SLO PD says to call 911 immediately.
The graduation success rate for Cal Poly student athletes who entered the university in the fall of 2006 is higher than that of the entire student body. Currently, the graduation success rate for student athletes who graduate within 6 years from first-time college enrollment is at 75%. Cal Poly's athletic director Don Olverhelman says that these numbers reflect how our student athletes are doing great things in the classroom as well as on the field, and there's plenty of credit to go around.
But I think ultimately the credit's going to have to lie with the student athletes and how seriously they take this.
Oberhelman says he is very excited about the number and thinks we can eliminate the negative student-athlete stereotype that may exist at other universities.
California's minimum wage is going up, and hiring students is going to get more expensive for Cal Poly. That could mean changes for nearly 1,000 students that work for Associated Students Incorporated and campus dining. Next June, minimum wage will go from $8 to $9 an hour. According to ASI, the number of people they can employ will likely decrease.
I don't think you'll see a significant amount of less students next year employed by ASI. With the ebb and flow of things going on, we move our students around.
About 550 students currently work for ASI, but Broom said some positions could be left unfilled as seniors graduate. 1 month after Governor Jerry Brown signed the minimum wage increase into law, Campus Dining says it still isn't sure how it will make up that money.
Some Cal Poly students are interested in a new dietary trend, and the university is now providing them a way to get answers. Megan Coates is the new registered dietitian for Campus Dining. She is working with chefs to incorporate healthier foods on campus, as well as helping individual students with dietary restrictions. Many students have already been asking her about the current trend of eating gluten-free foods.
A lot of students and people perceive that as a healthier way of a lifestyle, and it's not necessarily the case. So I'm trying to alleviate some of those questions, and I'm happy to answer any of them from students.
A new addition to Campus Dining this year is the gluten-free window at 19 Metro Station. Coast is also developing a wellness campaign which includes icons at 19 Metro and VG Cafe that tell students what the healthiest meal options are. The best way to contact the campus dietitian is currently through the Campus Dining website, but look for her office outside Metro early in winter quarter.
Cases of valley fever are on the rise on the Central Coast. Key symptoms to look out for are breathing problems, fever, and rashes covering the arms and legs. The illness is caused by a fungus that lives deep in the soil. When the soil is broken up, the spores are set free and people can breathe them in while inhaling dust. But pinpointing where each case comes from isn't easy.
Almost impossible to say whether this happened because they were out in the fields plowing and there was dust that was raised from that, or they were riding on a horse, or they were just out hiking and it was dusty. It's really hard to track down and say, aha, you got it from this construction project or walking on that trail.
Dr. Harris recommends seeking help if your symptoms last more than 1 week.
Confusion about Cal Poly's dry campus policy continues. David Aguilar takes a look at how tailgating on campus is adding to the confusion in the dry campus debate.
Tailgating prior to sporting events is a long-standing tradition in both professional and collegiate sports. Cal Poly expanded its tailgate areas to give alumni and students a chance to get together and watch a football game.
It's great for the campus community, it's great for our students, it's great for our alums. I don't see too many negatives to it. It was just something that we needed to do that other schools were already doing.
But tailgating on campus means drinking on campus. Although alcohol is allowed, it is only allowed in designated areas.
We just asked them to keep their tailgating areas self-contained within the designated spaces.
But tailgating on the Mustang Way comes with some restrictions, all to keep you safe.
So we've asked for no glass, we've asked for no drinking games, no beer funnels and those kinds of things, the other paraphernalia that goes along with that.
And athletics has worked closely with university police and other administrators to make sure the party doesn't get out of hand.
It's kind of been a collective effort on the part of all of us to keep an eye on things and make sure we're keeping people safe.
Cal Poly Athletics does not have any plans to start selling alcohol before games.
The CSU system has mandated that you're not allowed to sell alcohol at campus sporting events.
David Aguilar, Mustang News.
According to the athletic director, no incidents have happened at the tailgates due to alcohol.
For the first time, the Mustang and UC Davis bands will be joining forces. This Saturday, the Mustangs and UC Davis bands will be playing at halftime during the Golden Horseshoe rivalry game in Davis. The bands will be playing the song My Girl, made famous by the Temptations in the 1960s. To prepare, the music directors have been collaborating back and forth since the beginning of the school year.
Both bands are very different in style, but put together, it should be a glorious experience.
According to Woodruff, over 400 combined students will be collaborating on the piece, and he expects the Mustangs to come home with the Golden Horseshoe.
Police increased security for Friday night's soccer game against UCSB, but they say that didn't stop people from getting in trouble. A total of 12 people were arrested at the match, all for either public intoxication or disorderly conduct. That's nearly double the arrests made at last year's game. According to University Police, there were 12 officers in uniform that were working the game, which is more than in years past. UPD says there were more arrests because they had more officers on duty to take care of problems.
After the break, Olivia DeGeneiro gets a sneak peek at a spooky place to check out this Halloween weekend.
Plus, one Cal Poly student tells us about the book he wrote 7 years ago and how his personal story has made its way around the world. Cal Poly students are definitely getting into the Halloween spirit.
Olivia DeGeneiro is at the Sigma Nu House. What's going on out there today?
Hospital event tonight. This is Nick Kraft, their philanthropy chair. Nick, what's going to be going on tonight?
Well, tonight is our 8th annual Sigma Nu Haunted Hospital. What we're going to do is raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. It's going to be $3 at the door, and it runs from 7:30 to 10:30.
Now, what can people expect when they come to the Sigma Nu House tonight?
When they come here, they're going to purchase a ticket at the door, go in the haunted house, and get the pants scared off of them.
Okay, and how many people have you seen in years past?
In years past, we've had anywhere from 500 people throughout the 3 days to probably 400, somewhere between there. This year, we're expecting a lot more people.
Okay, so the Sigma Nu Haunted Hospital runs tonight, Friday night, and Saturday night. And like Nick said, it's $3 at the door, so come out if you want to get scared. Thanks, guys. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. Watch out for those chainsaws. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, at 13 years old, most of us had written essays for class, but one Cal Poly student wrote this book about his family, a book that has gone worldwide. Brianna Whitney shows us why.
We knew that we had to share our grandparents' story with the world.
For Cal Poly junior Daniel Dietschs, telling his grandparents' story was a must, a story of survival.
This right here, this is my grandmother, and that's my grandfather.
Survivors of the Holocaust, but that wasn't the case for all of his family.
Either gassed in the chamber or they died on death marches.
Daniel and his sister Lauren wrote a book at 12 and 13 years old, but Daniel says it isn't just a children's book.
It's still something that adults can read as well. Middle schools, high schools, college, anyone.
And people from all over the world have read their story.
It's currently in Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and Greece.
As for the profits,
every book that's sold, $1 of it is given towards the Blue Card Fund,
an organization to help families who were affected by the Holocaust. Although Daniel's future plans are different, the story is the same.
I want to make documentaries and movies about the Holocaust.
And professors say that passion shines in class too.
I think when he writes, his intention is to film it. So how would he take the camera and shoot that particular scene?
And Daniel has one message he wants everyone to know.
We need to continue to share it and know about it.
Brianna Whitney, Mustang News.
A great story. And Daniel hand drew most of the illustrations in the book and says hundreds of copies of the book have been sold.
On Tuesday, students used sugar and paper mache to begin celebrating Dia de los Muertos in the Chandler Lounge in the UU. The event was hosted by the Multicultural Center. Students were welcome to come in and create their own sugar skull or paper mache flowers to help celebrate the holiday. Decorating skulls is a Mexican tradition. The center will begin decorating all 100 skulls today in the UU Room 220, which will be used as decorations. There will be a larger event in the UU Plaza on November 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to celebrate Dia de los Muertos.
All you can eat at some campus dining halls is now all you can carry out. We take a look at the Eco-to-Go program on campus. Fill it up, rinse, and reuse. Campus Dining is introducing Eco-to-Go containers for freshmen on meal plans.
They bring in their container, clean or dirty. We'll give them a brand new one if it's dirty. And they give their ID card to the person at the front of the registers. They have about 5 minutes to come back and just fill up their container with as much food as they want. And then at 5 minutes, they go back, pick up their ID card, and they're out the door.
Campus Dining says the reusable containers are a response to student requests to reduce waste. And so far, the student response is positive.
A lot of people know that a lot of it goes to waste, and this is a great way to save all that food.
There's a $4 charge if you lose your box, but students say that just reminds them to bring it back. The program is one more step toward being an eco-friendly and sustainable school.
We're giving them an opportunity to do the whole reduce, reuse, recycle.
The containers can be used at 19 Metro and VG Cafe. Students can pick up the Eco-to-Go boxes at those dining halls.
We have enough for everyone, so we definitely want everyone to come in and pick up their containers. We have people and staff here that can sign them up and get them out.
You can pick up your Eco-to-Go box all this week at Metro and VG's.
Cal Poly will formally dedicate the new Warren J. Baker Center for Science and Mathematics on Friday. The festivities will kick off with a reception at the Baker Center starting at 3:30 p.m. Then the dedication ceremony begins at 4 p.m. Former Cal Poly President Warren Baker, who the building is named after, will speak at the event. The Baker Center welcomed its first classes this quarter after years of planning and construction. The ceremony will celebrate the completion of the 189,000 square foot building.
So with all the ups and downs we had in a 20-year project, it's just so exciting now, not only just to have the building, but to have the building that we had envisioned.
If you would like to see the new building, you can take a self-guided tour after the ceremony. Also, the Baker Forum will be held prior to the dedication ceremonies at Harmon Hall. The forum is a panel discussion moderated by the CEO of Raytheon Company.
Students and faculty gathered Tuesday night in the Advanced Technology Laboratories building to listen to Dr. Clarence Jones speak. Jones was a former political advisor, draft speechwriter, and close friend of the late Dr. Martin Luther King.
We shall not be moved. Martin Luther King Jr.
Jones went on to talk about the experiences he and King went through in an attempt to eliminate segregation in America. Jones is best known for writing the first 6 paragraphs of King's I Have a Dream speech.
After the break, find out what the weather will look like for your Halloween weekend.
And a lot of big games are coming up for Cal Poly Athletics. Be sure to stay tuned to our segment of Mustang Sports. Welcome back to Mustang News. Well, with Halloween here, we want to have some good weather too.
Definitely. We have Alexis Chakoti in our weather center. How's our Halloween weather looking?
Thanks, guys. Yes, we have some great weather coming up for Halloween. It's going to start in the mid-70s today, and it's going to cool down into the 40s, so you might want to bundle up tonight. Let's go to our 5-day forecast. And as you can see, it's a little chilly right now, but the high today is going to be 76. And going into the weekend, we're going to have a low of 40s at night. And let's go and see what the rest of the week is going to look like. There we go. So today, as you can see, it's nice and warm. And as the week continues, it's going to get a little cooler into 66, 65. But not to worry, that's going to start Sunday. So you're going to have a great weekend, you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Alexis. Looks like good weather for the weekend. Yeah. And some good sports going on too, right, Ashley?
Definitely. We have a lot of important games coming up this weekend. Let's start with women's soccer. All right, not one, but 2 more goals from Elise Krieghoff. Cal Poly women's soccer defeated UC Santa Barbara 2-1 Friday at Harder Stadium. The double puts Krieghoff at 20 goals for the season, a Cal Poly record. She's now ranked first nationally for highest number of goals. The victory clinched at least a share of the Big West Conference title for the Mustangs.
Kind of going with it. I didn't really expect it, but it's definitely a humbling experience. And I think as a team, most of the goals that we've had as a team have also been like my individual goals, you know, just to put the ball away, win games and play consistently.
The Cal Poly Mustangs will not have to share the Big West title as long as they defeat UC Davis at their game today. Men's soccer team finishes up their regular season home games as they take on Sacramento State this Saturday. Cal Poly is 5-2-2 at home. The ties were from the last 2 games against UC Santa Barbara and UC Davis. Both of those games ended 1-1. Saturday will be one of the Mustangs' most important games of the season since Sac State took the win over Davis this past weekend.
We want to win every game, you know, one game at a time. You know, it's for us, we only have Saturday night in Sac State, and we want to, you know, get a shutout. It's a priority for us. We want to perform well for our seniors, you know, and get the 3 points on Saturday night.
Saturday is senior night for the Mustangs. They hope to get a win to secure a spot in the Big West playoffs. The game starts at 7 p.m. The Cal Poly cross country team is preparing to run for the Big West Conference title. The Mustangs will host this year's conference championship meet Saturday at Fairbanks Memorial Cross Country Course. That's at Cuesta. The men's team is trying to win their third consecutive conference title. The team has won 12 titles so far and 9 of the last 10. The women are looking to win their second straight title and their fourth overall. Coach Conover says the team is healthy and excited to compete on their home course.
Well, I think it's an excellent course in terms of spectators get to see the runners quite a bit because it has multiple loops where they come right, in certain points throughout the race. Not all courses always have that. Sometimes they take off and they go out and then they come back, and that's it.
The women's 6K race will start at 9:45 and the men will begin their 8K at 10:40. The blue-green rivalry continues. This weekend, women's volleyball is hosting UC Santa Barbara. On Saturday night at 7 p.m., the Mustangs will face the conference-leading Gauchos, riding a 2-game winning streak. The Mustangs are in great form after defeating Cal State Fullerton 3-1 and UC Riverside 3-0. Head coach Sam Crossan feels the team is in great form going into the game tomorrow night.
It's been a while, but in kind of looking at our match over the course of the weekend and today, there's a lot of things that I think we're better at now than we were then, and I would assume that they're going to be better in some areas too.
As far as injuries go, senior Chelsea Harden is out with a compound fracture. She's expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks, but the team still has seniors Megan McConnell and Anna Gorman, who have helped raise the Mustangs' record to 4-4 in the Big West. Moving on to football, the team returns to action this Saturday at UC Davis. This matchup is comparable to the men's soccer blue-green rivalry between Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara. This will be the 39th time the two teams have battled each other for the Golden Horseshoe. Last year, the Mustangs regained the trophy after a 28-20 victory. UC Davis currently leads the series 19-17. Kickoff is set for 4:05 p.m. and the game will be broadcasted live on ESPN Radio Channel 1280. That's about it, but there's a lot to look forward to coming up this weekend in sports.
Hoping for those W's.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Ashley.
A zoo of animals is coming to Cal Poly this weekend. Find out where and when.
And find out what well-known musician is playing at the Pack tonight. Pollywood is next.
Halloween isn't the only thing going on this weekend. There are plenty of entertainment events going on too.
We have Trent Murfield in the studio with Pollywood. Trent?
Hey guys, I'm happy to bring you these news. There's leopards, lions, kangaroos, and penguins will be at Cal Poly this weekend. Jack Hanna's Into the Wild live tour is coming to the Christopher Conan Center inside the Performing Arts Center tomorrow night. Viewers should be prepared for an evening of animal education and entertainment. The show will feature a variety of animals from around the world, and Jungle Jack will also share stories and video clips from his exotic travels. The show starts at 7 p.m. and tickets are available at packslow.org. And the ASI Craft Center is putting on their biannual craft sale November 4th through 6th at 9:45 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. The timing is perfect if you're looking to get that special somebody a gift before the holidays. Students and non-students will be selling their handmade crafts such as jewelry, pottery, clothing, and more. For more info, you can go to asi.calpoly.edu/craft center. A tribute band of a well-known musician is paying a visit to the Pack tonight. Wiley Ray and the Big O Band will be paying tribute to the late Roy Orbison. A few of Orbison's best-known hits include Pretty Woman, Only the Lonely, and Crying. Special guests will include Rio Salinas, featuring Grammy winner Louis Ortega, and the performance is at 7:30 p.m., and you can get the tickets on the Pack's website. Now that's it for Pollywood. I hope you guys have a safe Halloween and a safe and fun weekend.
Thanks so much, Trent. Well, thanks for tuning in to our Halloween edition of Mustang News. You can watch our shows on Charter Channel 19, Campus Channel 2, and UHTV Channel 7.
You can also find constant broadcast coverage on mustangnews.net. Have a fun and safe Halloween weekend.